So after 25 years and a lot of anticipation from me, Space Jam has finally got a sequel. So ever since they first announced this movie, I have been so massively anticipating it. I've been so excited. I've been following all the news when they first released the kind of costumes, what do they call them, uniforms? I don't know, sports. When they first announced the jerseys that they were going to be wearing, everyone's like, that's terrible, that's terrible. I was looking at it like, well, that's not terrible, that's actually better than the original design. I love the whole Looney Tunes on the side. Of course, it's their logo, the Looney Tunes. I thought that was fantastic. I've been trying to find the jersey to buy it myself. Couldn't find it anywhere, so I've been really excited. All the news that they're going to be jumping from world to world, very like Wreck-It Ralph 2. Been really excited because Warner Brothers has got some fantastic properties. LeBron James being, that's the name, yeah, LeBron James being announced didn't bother me. I didn't really care who the athlete was in these movies because I don't care about sports, as I said, so it didn't bother me who the athlete was going to be. And I left this movie massively disappointing. Now, the Looney Tunes aspect to it, it's fantastic. It's the tunes, they're having fun. They all seem just like they were back in 1996, was it, when the original came out? Even beyond that, they feel like the exact same characters. My only kind of complaint about them all is Lola Bunny, purely because she doesn't sound like Lola Bunny. And you can say, oh, you're just being nitpicking at this, but it kind of comes from a reasonable place. Like if you look at Scoob last year, they replaced all the actors, and it sounded weird, but they replaced them all. In Space Jam, they all sound the exact same except for Lola, so she really stands out amongst them all because she doesn't sound the same. If they replaced them all, then you'd be like, okay, they all sound so different, it's so weird. But since they kept all of them but replaced Lola, it's a really weird choice that they just replaced one of the tunes and kept them all the same. But other than that, their banter, their jokes, the tunes actually had me laughing a lot throughout this movie. LeBron James, I would say, is probably the biggest negative. Some people complain saying, oh, well, he's going to be better than Michael Jordan. He can't be, because they give him a lot more. LeBron James and Michael Jordan, they're not actors, but Michael Jordan, what they gave him in the original movie was just play basketball. Just play basketball, have a bit of fun with the tunes. They don't give him a lot to do. But LeBron James, they give him a lot to do. Not only is he carrying the movie the same way Michael Jordan was, but he's carrying it, and they give him a lot of kind of lot of storylines. He's got so much family storylines. He's got so much emotional elements. He's got to do so much, and he's just not able for it because the guy is not an actor. You can't expect him to do all this when he's not an actor. He's certainly far from being a leading man again. If this wasn't a Space Jam movie and it wasn't reliant on him being himself, I'd say no one's ever going to give him a role like this because the guy is not an actor. He was not ready to be the leading man in Space Jam, and he was definitely my least favorite part of this movie because a lot of the movie, the first, I'd say 20 minutes, we don't even see the tunes. We just focus on him and his family life, and it was very boring. One of the parts I was kind of zoning out because I wasn't really enjoying it. Once the tunes get involved, you do get a lot more fun. You do see LeBron James animated for a portion of it, and that's probably the best part of LeBron James in this movie, is when he's animated, because you feel like it's a bit of weight lifted off his shoulder because all he's doing is voice acting, so you feel like he doesn't have to emote as much as he should be. So he is better when he's animated, but as a whole, LeBron James was easily the worst part about this movie. Another part I really didn't like Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle was just such a weird element to this movie. If you look at the villain in the original one, you've got I can't remember his name now. Blanking on his name. He's also in, you know who he is. But Don Cheadle, he was really cartoonish, really over the top. Of course, this is a kids movie, so you do have to say that. But Don Cheadle, I don't think it was the character. I think it was a bit of the character, but I think a lot of it relied on Don Cheadle. He just wasn't able to do what they wanted him to do. He's not, like, he's more of a serious actor, so to see him doing all this stuff, I couldn't really buy into it. I think his kind of storyline as, what do they call him, AI, whatever they called him anyways, I didn't like Don Cheadle in the role. I didn't like the villain as a whole. As well, this movie was heavily marketed as jumping from world to world, and you don't get that. That was such a big false advertising, just like at Wreck-It Ralph 2 when they advertised so much of the Oh My Disney stuff. Same thing happened here, but at least with the Oh My Disney stuff, I feel like we got to see some stuff. We did get to see some characters, even though we didn't get to see a lot. We got to see a little bit more in that than we do in this movie, because we get a small scene in the Justice League world, and that's it. Really, you get to see some stuff with Batman, you get to see some stuff with Wonder Woman, But other than that, you don't really get to see much. You get to see a little bit of the Matrix. You get to see them like kind of hovering over the top of them, or you get a small blink and you miss a scene in Casablanca. But other than that, it's a lot of stuff that they show off and they're like, oh my god, come and see this, and it's not that. A lot of it is kind of showing off what Warner Brothers has as IPs, and you don't really get it, especially in the final basketball scene. You look at the audience and there's so many characters like, oh my god, look at that. Like you see the guys from A Clockwork Orange, really odd choice in having them in the movie, but it's really just like they're showing off all of their IPs, and it's just, I didn't enjoy it. Honestly, I went in Space Jam really anticipating it. I even watched the first one leading into this one because I have fun with that first movie. I love the Steelbook. I was going into it, I was going to pre-order the Steelbook so I can have the first and the second one Steelbook. But after watching it, I'm not going to buy this movie. I have no anticipation. I have no interest. I don't care. I don't want to watch this movie again. If I want to watch the Looney Tunes, I'm just going to watch Space Jam. I'm going to try get Looney Tunes back in action. I've never seen that, so I want to see what that's like. But honestly, I have no interest in ever rewatching Space Jam: A New Legacy. Hopefully someday we'll get another movie and give the tunes justice, because honestly, besides the Looney Tunes in this movie, this is a bad movie and I have no interest in watching it again. But let me know your thoughts on Looney Tunes, or no, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like it more than the original one, or is the original one still the better movie? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Click that subscribe button as well so you can come back and see future content from me. Loads more movie reviews, rankings, all that in the future. So if you want to see all that, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.